Bandai. This is Wahkeena, Sitka, coming to you from the Colstein Valley currently. You can't tell, but right behind my head, straight that away, is Mount Shasta. Not getting the best view of it, and it's definitely like the video is too sunny, so you can't see it at all. But right back there is Mount Shasta, and I'm at my friend Curtis's land out in the Colstein Valley, and was feeling inspired to take the time to sit down and record this video. And this particular vocal alchemy video is about listening and expressing, giving and receiving, silence and sounding. So this is kind of piggybacking on one of last week's videos in which I discussed the necessity of cultivating silence for vocal power. And in this video, I'm just going to discuss the importance of the balance of these dualities. On one hand, you have giving and you have receiving. And in my personal life, that understanding of sort of the delicate balance of giving and receiving, it's kind of been one of those lessons that's been hammered into me over and over again, and I've had to learn it kind of the hard way, and in some ways I'm still learning it. It's definitely not something that you just get, because a lot of people get stuck in mostly giving or mostly receiving. And a lot of the human imbalances, with regards to sexuality, with regards to human relationships, people like overextending themselves or taking advantage of other people, those kinds of dynamics, sometimes in sexuality, it's more like there's one person that's always giving, there's another person that's always receiving, and that creates an imbalance in the energetic field, creates resentment and that kind of thing. And likewise, in the realm of music and sound, the same dynamic exists. For example, it's really easy as a musician to kind of get caught up in how exciting and exhilarating it is to be expressing and singing and playing on that instrument, whichever instrument it is, and just it's a form of giving. You're just doing, giving, expressing, sounding, and you get really excited and kind of like high on your own creative energy and on your expressing of yourself. It's exhilarating, it's exciting, it's fun. But there's moments where, if you've ever, say, like, been in a jam with other people, where there's this feeling of like, God damn it, why won't that person like pay attention and like feel into the dynamics, and it's like they're taking up too much space, they're taking up too much energy, they're not paying attention to each other. And I know I've had that as one of my own learning edges, one of my growing edges, as my friend Robert Silver calls it. And I've seen that in other people too. And so I know it's a kind of, not, I wouldn't say necessarily universally like expansive paradigm, but it's around. And so learning how to receive is in my opinion one of the most important things in terms of not only just music, like cultivating yourself as an artist and as a musician, but as a vocalist, but also just in general in all of life. And so when working in the vocal alchemy circles, I really encourage everybody that comes to participate to really cultivate listening, and to cultivate receiving, and to cultivate that silence from which you're not only listening internally to your own intuition and to your own creative expression, but you're also really paying attention to what's happening around you. Like, at this moment, what's happening around me is I'm sitting in sort of a bit of a glade here, and there's trees, and there's a breeze, and there's just that breeze sort of like moving and swooshing through the trees, and it's a very like haunting, very peaceful sound, and so like when you're in that moment of vocal alchemy or sounding or expressing, paying like really close attention to not just what you're expressing, but to what everybody's expressing, so that there's a more of a unified state rather than just a you state or an I state. A you or I state. A you and I. It's a unified, it's a you and I. So, yeah, basically working on sort of negotiating those fluxes in your desire to give, your desire to express, your desire to use your voice, your desire to open your creative channel, sound, make songs, but and then there's that need to just listen to somebody else and relax and let your expressions simmer down. Because only really good listeners make really good sounders. So, and the best artists and the best musicians are those who've listened deeply to others and who have trained by listening to others who have more advanced. And so, I don't know. I think that's it. Feeling like that says enough. So I hope you got something out of this vocal alchemy video. So just keep in mind in your life, like, how important it is to have that balance of silence and sounding, listening and expressing, receiving and giving.